Hi everyone, I am making another video update after my vitrectomy for floaters. My last update was 3 months post-op, and now it's been about 7.5, so I wanted to give just a quick status check on how I'm doing. I'm still getting a fair amount of views and comments on the other videos, so I want to provide some status. I'm going to start by zeroing in on my eye here. I had the surgery done on my left eye. I'm going to zoom in so you can see how I'm doing. Overall, looks pretty good. There's still some redness in the corner of the eye, but those are just veins. That's not really from the surgery. People that have seen my older videos remember that I had some red kind of blood or residual from the surgery for a while in my eye, and that's pretty much all gone, as you could see. So feeling pretty good about that. The other point I had mentioned was that I was still seeing, I'm just looking out the window here, I was still seeing some small floaters in my eye, very minor. I could still notice them, but compared to where I was before, I mean, that's just, they're barely even noticeable. I hardly noticed them. And I had really also mentioned how I had some black spots in the peripheral vision, still there, but I've noticed over time they've been pushing further and further out of my vision. So really at this point though, I don't see them when I'm just looking out. Unless I'm moving my eyes around a lot, maybe they'll come in to view, but they never cross my central plane of vision. They're always just kind of in the corner there, and 90% of the time I don't even notice them because they're so far back. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So I'm still going to basically, my overall takeaways from the surgery, I'm going to, like I said, make it quick, is this. I mean, I would peg it at about 80% improvement in my vision, which I'm very happy about overall. I had hoped for 100% improvement, clear vision, like I was 18 years old again, and no floaters and everything's great. I don't even know if that's realistic, but that's what I was hoping for, and that's not, the case. I mean, I still have some small spots in my eye, and there's still, some black spots in the peripheral, but I mean, I'm going to peg at about 80% vision improvement, which honestly, while I was hoping for like 100, I mean, the fact that my eye looks healthy, no major complications at this point, and I had two big one really bad floater and another floater in my left eye that are gone. I'm pretty content with that. I mean, being outside, playing tennis outside, which I do a lot, just in general, walking around, watching TV, at work, I'm on the computer all the time. Now it's just been a huge improvement in my quality of life. So that's kind of the takeaway. My other takeaways would be that I have two main ones. And this will kind of give people an idea of kind of where I'm coming from, because I don't want to make it sound like this is a riskless surgery that has incredible benefits or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying at all. My personal experience right now has been positive, but there's still time that something could develop, and I understand it's a risk. There's risks to this surgery. So what I want to say is I have some floaters in my right eye, which is one of the reasons why they developed later. I had some really bad ones in my left, kind of just was dealing with it for years, never really pursued a surgical option, developed some in my right eye, and now it just became unbearable. So now that I have one eye, for the most part, clear, and my floaters in my right weren't ever as bad as they were in the left, I'm going to basically say at this point, I'm going to wait a couple years before I would entertain surgery in this eye, and that's for a couple of reasons. One, now that I've got one eye cleared, my vision's really improved. I notice these less, believe it or not, just because I'm not moving my eyes around all the time, and they just tend to kind of stay out of my vision more. And two, there is risks involved, and now that my vision has improved such a measurable amount, maybe I don't want to undergo the risk on that other eye. Sure, I'd like to be floater-free, but I'm going to see how it goes. If 2 years go by and, hey, my eye still looks great, no problems, no more floaters have developed in it, then I might say, okay, it's worth the benefit, let's go for it. We're going to play it by ear, I'll put it that way. So that'll give people some idea of how I feel about the risk balance to this surgery. Two, I would say, is that the recovery time is a little bit longer than I would have anticipated, and what some doctors and other people on forums have told me. While I was back at work on Monday, and my vision was fine, 20/20 vision still, I could see everything. The floaters were gone. I still had some air bubbles, more of those black spots. I mean, now I have 2. At that time, I had like 10. And lots of air bubbles, 50, 60 of them, all kind of in the corner of my eye there, really bothersome. And redness, blood in the corner of my eye. That I thought was going to go away in a week, and because that's sort of what I was told, and it never did. I mean, that took a good 2 months to go away. I had the surgery done in September, first week, and then the first week in October, I was traveling overseas, really excited about, hey, I'm floater-free in this eye, and I still had some of those kind of issues, which just worried me. When I got back, I had a checkup right away, and I said, what's going on here? And it just took time. They said there's nothing major going on. It's just blood takes time to resolve. And it did, but it takes a little longer than I expected. So what I would say to someone entertaining the surgery is have realistic expectations as far as what your vision's going to be like. Probably not 100% improvement. Understand the risks to it. And recognize that the recovery time is maybe a little bit longer than what other people have said. I mean, it's different for everyone, but for me, I didn't really feel comfortable with the result until about 3 or 4 months out, because my vision had really cleared, my eye had really cleared, my vision was still looking good, no complications, and some of those other issues had kind of cleared up, and just visually it looked better. And now, 7.5 months, I don't even really think about surgery too much anymore. My eye's pretty good. But those are my major takeaways. So I hope that, that helps. I hope, people visually being able to see my eye now is informative. I hope the pointers that I'm giving help people. And I'm going to probably look to post an update at about the 1-year mark. So feel free to ask any questions or post any comments between now and then, and take care, everyone.